and we're kicking off with looking at productivity through technology and redefining how do we get there. I think from our broker survey that we did, we've done 2 of those, and we're going to get to doing a 3rd one soon. But 2 of the big things that came out was, or shall I maybe say 3 things, was that, first of all, compliance and admin. Compliance is a huge burden. Admin is a huge burden. And I think compliance probably is an admin burden as well. And that's been a big thing. And then the second one was one of the reasons that were given for the lack of implementing tech in especially brokerages, and that was the time that it takes to be involved as a broker or as the main person in a brokerage to actually implement that tech. And we're hoping to speak to a couple of those things today when we're talking about productivity and all of that, how to get more time for yourself in your practice to do other things than admin and compliance. So we've got Craig Grasco, Business Development Director at FSP Hub. Craig is an old hand in the tech space, having played quite a bit of a huge role at Cardinal for quite a while, now with FSP Hub, using that knowledge and understanding of the environment to assist the company to grow, to their growth within the broker and advisor environments. We've got Sean Barrett, Chief Executive Officer at FSP Hub. He's sort of the driver in terms of creating FSP Hub. He leads FSP Hub's cutting-edge technology to simplify operations and improve control for business owners, particularly in the insurance industry and our space. So yeah, under his leadership, the company has grown quite dramatically over the last while. And then we've got our own Brent Minnick, who is our marketing director and probably also the ops director in cover, making sure that everything happens, looking after our tech as well, but also part of designing the strategies and helping us design strategies for our clients in terms of their exposure, their brand building, and their digital engagement. So yeah, we're going to look at technology, how it's driving your productivity within your business, and specifically how you can optimize your time by just outsourcing to technology some of those burdens that you have. So we're going to start off, Craig. Maybe you can position a little bit for us where we are at with productivity and what are those stumbling blocks and how do you guys envisage breaking them down?
I think, Tony, maybe before we kick things off, maybe Craig, can you give us someone's really busy 30-second overview of what is FSP Hub about? Maybe we kick off there and then we can sort of segue into productivity.
Yeah, great. Tony, Brent, thank you. Appreciate you inviting us to attend TechFest and giving us a slot to speak to your audience. Just in essence, FSP Hub is a comprehensive, cost-effective, customizable solution that helps FSPs digitize their practices, enhances customer service levels, and ensures compliance in a complex regulatory environment. FSP Hub is what other people say is it doesn't do the heavy lifting. It doesn't have financial modules. It doesn't have insurance specific modules, as in it doesn't issue statutory documentation. But what it does do exceptionally well is it's got a CRM, client relationship management. It's got workflow and workflow automation, which is exceptionally powerful. And you can customize your workflows to fit your business and fit your business processes, although there are some standard workflows that you can use as a base. We've got centralized management. In other words, it's a cloud-based solution, and it holds all of your client information, documents, and communications in one place for your clients. Communication, very important. We've got smart communication tools, which includes emails in and out of the system, WhatsApps in and out of the system, and SMSs, if still applicable, in and out of the system. And it stores that in one location under the client file. So everything is available at a click of a button. Document management, another key essential thing, especially with COFI and COPIA and a few the other regulatory requirements. We store all documents in one place. We've got lots of features around documents, the ability to report on documents. Another nice feature is we've developed electronic forms or e-forms. We call it Formulate, which is creating and managing digital forms with secure e-signing. So that makes life a hell of a lot easier, and we can auto-fill and pre-fill with information when sending it to the client. And that has gone through compliance officers, and it is POPIA compliant. We've got a lot of reporting, analysis, dashboard stats to measure productivity, to measure who's doing what, when, and how. What is your productivity in your practice? Are you behind in certain things? Where are there bottlenecks? How do you overcome that? But it's basically taking your standard operating procedures and building it into a system to manage your business, to take out that specific risk element. And then lastly, we are doing lots of integrations with the various PAS systems, policy admin systems, like a Cardinal, where we're doing integrations, API integrations to share information. So getting back to that single touch, duplication of effort, we want to be able to work with the various ecosystems and be part of those ecosystems with FSP Hub. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks for that overview. I mean, in your experience, how have you seen productivity in the FSP environment change over the last 5 years, and how important would you say something like business agility is for today's intermediaries? Where does technology help protect agility rather than slow it down?
Thanks, Brent. It's very valid. Look, the insurance industry and the world and the market has got faster. The pace has picked up. Technology has changed and moved along rapidly, and COVID-19 helped accelerate this work from home or work anywhere type of mentality. So hence the tool sets that came with that enhanced that type of experience. So FSP Hub complements your work from anywhere type of environment. You've also got the advent of the various regulatory frameworks that are coming in or are in, COFI being one of them, to know where your information is, where all your client data sits, where are all the documentations, what frameworks or operational frameworks do you use. Try to get levels of consistency, be able to measure and monitor performance within your business, and to make use of digital tools to enable your business. What was spoken about earlier is that the insurance game is a high-touch, high-intensive, people-orientated type of business. And how do you make your communication a lot easier and seamless, and make your practice or your brokerage be more professional by standardizing what you do, using templates, bulk communications, and basically enhancing your offering with using the latest technology tools, like your WhatsApp, your e-forms, your pre-filled, your e-sign. So in a nutshell, things have changed a hell of a lot, and you need to use the tools around you to enable your business to perform better, to manage client services better, and to be regulatory compliant.
Thanks, Craig. So I think you mentioned in a couple of the sessions we've spoken a bit about compliance. You mentioned COFI now. So to dig into that, why does compliance admin consume so much time, and how can it be tackled without risking regulatory alignment? You mentioned COFI as well.
Yeah, thanks, Brent. I'm not a regulatory type of expert, but COFI is coming in, and COFI speaks about workflows. It speaks about consistency, reduction of errors, better collaboration, enhanced transparency, and improved communication. And you know, there's a lot of other things around COFI with your reporting and collection of data and security around data. And FSP Hub enables a lot of those things that COFI requires automatically in your business. So you don't have to overthink it, you don't have to over-engineer it. We take care of those aspects, which speaks to quite a bit about the COFI framework.
Okay, thanks. Sean, sorry, maybe you want to jump in there and add a bit to what Craig said.
Yeah, just perhaps Craig has touched on some of the core functionality, which is really around communication, workflow or processes, and your document management. And I mean, our markets are financial intermediaries across all disciplines, from short term to life and invest, healthcare, and so on. Our functionality is universally applicable. And we put this powerful tool in the hands of the financial intermediary. They can customize their processes. As Craig mentioned, you know, we have the regulatory frameworks. Do your adjustments there, build that into your processes, build your empathy and how you treat your clients into those processes, so that, you know, you distinguish yourself from a brokerage just down the road. And that's, you know, you build trust. The system lends itself to doing that very well. You know, with WhatsApp now being at the forefront of a lot of communication, Graham touched on it earlier. He believes that email will disappear in the next few years. I share that sentiment. I don't think it will completely disappear, but people want to do things a lot quicker. They want the responses. You see that, you know, WhatsApp, for example, is replacing a lot of mobile applications. And we've built that into our system, fully integrated with, in the same way that we deal with emails, right into the task, into the workflow, single view of the client, complete life cycle of the client, easily trackable. All the reporting and information is there. But, you know, with our open architecture approach, the collaborations that we have, policy administration systems, life and wealth systems, to, you know, to pull that information into FSP Hub, not all of it, but the key information that feeds into the record of advice. So that adds a lot of value. Reducing the double capture, that's a big burden. We see that so many, because of there's so much technology around, you know, we see it more and more, particularly in the life and wealth space as well, where, you know, advisors are using 6 or 7 systems. And you know, it becomes confusing, and you often, you know, you may drop the ball because now you forgot to do this or do that. You can build those things into your workflows, automated triggers and so on. So, you know, we then offer, and we have the ability to offer best of breed.
Thanks, Sean. You mentioned WhatsApp and email. How does integrating WhatsApp, email, and SMS into a single client file actually change the daily workflow of an FSP? Do you have a practical example of sort of reduced client frustration, improved turnaround times, or anything that you could speak to?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a single view of the client and all the activities in the life cycle of the client, whether it is a short-term claim or whether it's an investment switch or something that's on the go. There's full transparency there. So the users in the practice, if there's an inquiry, maybe a telephonic follow-up, immediately in the client's file, they can see which activities are current. They've got all the notes at their disposal, all the workflows, all the communication, whether it's WhatsApp, SMS, or email. The documents are there. So it really it allows the intermediary, or the FSP in this case, to respond quickly and accurately.
Okay, and you mentioned best of breed earlier, so and workflow. So I'm assuming there is a customized component to FSP Hub as a solution.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a real strong element of FSP Hub is the customization of the workflows. So whether it is a short-term claims process or whether it is something to do with an investment, those are processes that one can set up, predefine, and revise as required. We put this powerful tool in the hand of the FSP. And we work with them. We're a phone call away if they need help, but we prefer to empower the FSP to be able to set up these processes and refine them as necessary. I mean, Craig touched on, the regulatory environment that's changing, impact of COFI, and factor that into the processes. Talk to your compliance officer. What do I need to do here? What do I need to do there to make sure that that I'm compliant? We have compliance checklists in the workflows. Yeah, it's a full bouquet of functionality.
And Craig, if we're looking at the sort of onboarding intake component, I know we were talking about data earlier, but just on the workflow side, if you're onboarding a new client on the FSP Hub side, is there a sort of workflow automation you suggest up front, and where are some of the leverage points you find in terms of working with companies to get them onboarded quickly? Maybe looking at a champion to sort of drive the initiative. Do you have any sort of input to share with the audience?
Thanks, Brent. FSP Hub is all about business agility, and it's not a huge, big, heavy system to implement. We've got lots of standard processes. We've got a standard implementation framework that we take people through. Depending on the size of the organization that we're implementing, it could be weeks that we can get you up and running, or within 2 weeks or so. Bigger organizations do take longer because there is the element of change management, rolling out the product by department, which is a preferred method. We do have our standard workflows, standard templates, standard e-forms that we can use to get you up and running out the blocks. We can share it via Excel. We take you through very hands-on orientation. The system is very user-friendly, very easy to navigate. It's using the latest technology stacks. It's sitting in AWS. The click-throughs and the searches and the ability to manage on FSP Hub and the adoption rate is very quick. It was interesting, prior to this, I asked Sean to pull some stats to say how many users within FSP Hub, which is in excess of 3,000 users, are older than the age of 45 years, and 30% of our users are older than 45 years. So the adoption is good. It's not just for the new generations to use. Very intuitive, very easy, very simple. And our onboarding process, we like I said, we hands-on. We don't want to drop the ball. We want you to like it, love it, use it, and then refer us. Yeah, and we've got lots of tools, and you can customize screens, you can customize fields, you can build your own fields. The reporting is very dynamic. You can run reports real time, drill into it, schedule reports. There's live dashboards, stats. It's just fantastic. You're running it. You're actually playing in your business with this, and you're enabling your business, and you're creating business agility. But in saying that, you are not skimping on your client-centric approach, your communication, your documentation, your compliance components, your workflows, your checklists. You can specify deliverables that need to be done per workflow step. So you create a framework in order to operate your business effectively. But the onboarding it's fun, and people generally embrace it very quickly.
Thanks, Craig. I think that's a good segue to sort of almost life after change, we could say. So if someone is an FSP is fully embraced integrated workflows, communications, how does it improve their day-to-day? So there was a reference to, I think in Wimpy's session, he spoke a bit about in his empathy acronym, there was a reference to, in essence, return on investment, I think. And have you seen measurable revenue growth directly linked to removing some of these admin bottlenecks? What does the end goal look like?
Okay, so
Maybe I can touch on that.
Oh, you can.
No?
I was
I'll
wondering
kick
who
it
was
off.
asking the question to.
Whoever wants to take it, yeah.
Definite gains. I mean, some of them are not immediately recognizable, but as part of the process, a lot of this becomes obvious, and the new clients as well. There's sort of added benefits. I mean, obvious things with going with digitization is the reduction of paper, and wherever they are storing their documents and so on. I mean, it runs into tens of thousands, and those are just the obvious ones. But the efficiency, you can do so much more with your existing staff. Build your how-tos into the workflows. We heard about the empathy earlier, and how you should be engaging your client. You can build all those little nuances into your processes and so on. And you basically embrace the culture of the organization. You don't redefine it, and you don't replace it with FSP Hub. Really embrace it, and it's really people first, and making sure that the FSP is the champion in the whole exercise. Craig?
Thanks.
Yeah, it improves productivity. It stops you dropping the ball. You're not worried about who replied to that email, who responded to this, what was said, did I get that document, where is it kept, if someone's on leave and I don't have access to their folders or structures. So it takes away the mess around factor, and it puts all the information into one place. Busy with a large implementation right now, and their viewpoint is that they were looking at increasing their staff complement by X amount, and with FSP Hub, they don't need to. It's creating more efficiency in their offices, visibility, transparency, and they can measure and benchmark performance and understand where people need help and where the bottlenecks are, and allocate resources correctly. So I don't think that you could tangibly say it's going to save you X to the bottom line, but it's a game changer for your business regardless, and it'll improve how you deal with your clients, how you service it, and how you work internally with each other.
Well, I think it sticks with the sort of the sentiment so far, and that sort of tech enabling, and then by doing that, there is a cost reduction, but people can also focus on relationships, and the rest can be sort of almost abstracted because it's being taken care of and it's compliant. So as we close out, I think there's a couple of messages in the chat around sort of AI, but looking ahead to 2027, and Craig or Sean, whoever wants to answer this one, but looking ahead into 2027, how do you think the most productive FSPs will operate compared to today?
Thanks, Brent. Sean, you can obviously comment after me, but we see integration and data sharing, and having information at the correct information in the right places, and to be able to access it very, very easily, to have lots of different systems and different avenues where information flows, to try and integrate with that and put it in a location that you can make the correct decisions around that. So that is important. So the data management and your centralized management and smart communication is very important. So the AI component, and I saw quite a few questions popping up about AI. It stands for artificial intelligence, but we are calling it automation intelligence. So we want to automate as much as possible. We want the system to read emails, know what to do with it, create tasks, allocate it, know when to prompt people, maybe with the normal chat GPTs and other tooling available. How do we harness that power? We don't want to be inventing AI. We want to be using those tool sets to automate and make your lives as easy as possible. And I think we're at the tip of the iceberg, and there's going to be a hell of a lot more. But that component is there to make your life easier, quicker, faster, so that you can spend more time on the human touch and giving the right attention and detail to where your business needs it. Over to you, Mr. Barrett.
No, I think you got it, Craig. I mean, it's yeah, ours is a complementary with, you know, the systems that like Cardinal, Graham was telling us about earlier, and Vimpy. You know, integrate with those, get the right data, get the quality data, and let's see how we can complement each other. I think that is the future.
100%. Yeah, I think you mentioned that reference to an ecosystem, which I think is important, and it's quite nice. Some of the sessions, and I think some of the reference sometimes to AI is what could be done some 2, 3, 4 years from now, as opposed to what can we do today or tomorrow. And it definitely seems like, obviously, you guys have been in existence for some time, a few decades, and someone can sort of, there's almost a turnkey solution, you know, tomorrow, that they can sort of give you guys a call. I think Joburg and Cape Town is where you guys are based. I see there's a couple of messages there in terms of how people can reach you. How can they get through to you, and where you guys based? South Africa only?
Yeah. So Brent, it's quite easy. Whoever needs anything, you can email me, craig@fsphub.com. I've put it into the chat, or Sean, which is spelled SEAN, @fsphub.com. Yeah, reach out via mail, or go to our website, fsphub.com, and there is book a demo. You can chat to us. Reach out, please. We love speaking to people. We like hearing ideas and collaborating and spending time, and we're not after the big fish all the time. We're happy to work with the SME type of clients. Actually, 70% of our clients are SMEs, brokerages between 3 and 15 users, and we like to offer great service to that segment, as well as the larger chaps as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's no business too small for us. We often find that, you know, a lot of the providers in this space traditionally, if the client's not big enough, they don't give them much attention. We give everyone the same amount of attention, and often for our sins, the smaller ones give us the most pain. They want everything.
Yes, that sort of good old 80-20.
But that's
Guys,
okay.
Maybe just a closing comment. There was a reference to sort of security. I don't know if you guys want to speak to that in terms of this.
Look, we host we are on AWS, so Amazon Web Services. We make use of a partner called Adobe, which are ISO 27001 and ISO 27713 certified, and they also, I think, platinum partners with AWS. So from a security point of view, we do take it seriously. We do encryptions. We have been audited several times. Do penetration tests. You know, if that it's your data, it is a concern, and yes, even the Pentagon can get hacked, but we take every precaution possible to protect that data.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for the session. Quite insightful, and yeah, I'm sure people will reach out to you if they want a bit more information. Thank you.
Lovely. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity,
Thank you.
Brent and Tony.
Thank you very much.